The void between stars was never truly empty. It thrummed with the echoes of distant engines, the faint tremors of weapons fire, the silent screams of dying ships. Admiral Elias Voss knew this better than most. From the observation deck of the UNS Sentinel, he watched the flickering holographic display of the ongoing carnage. Two massive alien armadas tearing each other apart near the edge of human-explored space. The Kthari and the Veln, locked in a war older than human civilization, had bled into the Orion Spur, and now their conflict threatened to spill over into Earth's fledgling colonies. Voss exhaled, the weight of command pressing against his ribs. His fingers traced the scar running along his jaw, a souvenir from the first contact skirmishes, back when humanity had been naive enough to think the galaxy would welcome them. It hadn't. The Kthari had dismissed humans as weak. The Veln had ignored them entirely. And now, as the two titans clashed, Earth's leaders debated whether to hide or fight. Behind him, the door hissed open. Commander Lyrichin stepped in, her dark eyes sharp with urgency. "Admiral, we got a problem." The Kthari just glassed New Carthage. Voss's gut twisted. New Carthage, a mining outpost barely defended, a testing ground. Survivors? None. Her voice was flat, controlled, but her knuckles whitened around the datapad in her grip. They didn't even bother with a warning, just wiped it off the map. A muscle in Voss's jaw jumped. This wasn't an accident. This was a message. "You are nothing. Give me the Joint Chiefs," he said. 3 hours later, deep beneath Geneva's reinforced bunkers, Voss stood before Earth's most powerful leaders. The air was thick with tension, the holographic table between them displaying the same grim battlefield. "We can't fight them," Secretary General Hale said, her voice brittle. "Our fleet is a fraction of theirs. If we engage. If we don't, they'll keep coming." Voss interrupted. New Carthage was just the start. The Kthari see us as insects. The Veln don't see us at all. We either prove them wrong, or we die waiting for mercy they won't give. A murmur rippled through the room. Then, from the shadows, a new voice cut in. "There's another option." Dr. Leo Markov stepped forward, his gaunt frame draped in a lab coat that had seen too many sleepless nights. The head of Project Aegis, a black site program so classified even most of the Joint Chiefs only knew rumors. Voss narrowed his eyes. "Markov, if you got a miracle, now's the time." Markov's smile was thin, almost predatory. "Oh, Admiral, we've been building one." The hologram shifted, the battlefield dissolving into schematics, a warship unlike anything in humanity's arsenal. Sleek, angular, dwarfing even the Kthari dreadnoughts. The UNS Leviathan. Hale sucked in a breath. "You kept this from us?" "Would you have believed it if we hadn't?" Markov countered. "The Leviathan isn't just a ship. It's a statement. Adaptive plasma shielding. AI-driven predictive targeting. A railgun system that can crack a planet's crust." He paused. "And it's ready." Silence. Then Voss leaned forward, his pulse roaring in his ears. "Where is it?" The Leviathan waited in the dark, docked at a hidden shipyard beyond Pluto. It was a monolith of blackened alloy and thrumming energy, its hull etched with the scars of 1,000 simulated battles. Captain Isara Ray stood on its bridge, her hands clasped behind her back, watching the final systems come online. "They're sending Voss." Her XO, Cale Jansen, muttered. "Guess that means we're going to war." Isara didn't flinch. She'd known this day would come. The Leviathan had never been meant to gather dust. Good. When the shuttle docked and Voss strode onto bridge, she met him with a nod. No salutes. No pleasantries. There was no time for either. "You've seen the reports," Voss said. "I have." Isara turned to main display, where the alien fleets still burned. "You want us to jump into that?" "I want you to end it." A beat. Then Isara smirked. Finally, the Leviathan's engines flared to life. Somewhere, in the depths of the galaxy, the Kthari and Veln waged their endless war, oblivious of the storm about to descend upon them. Humanity's storm. End of Section 1. Word count, 1-500. Key elements established, asterisk. Central conflict, asterisk. Alien war threatens humanity. Earth's leaders are divided on how to respond. Main characters introduced asterisk. Admiral Voss asterisk battle-hardened, pragmatic, willing to risk everything to protect humanity. Commander Chen asterisk loyal, emotionally controlled, but simmering with rage over New Carthage. Dr. Markov asterisk brilliant, morally ambiguous, architect of the Leviathan. Captain Isara Ray asterisk fearless, decisive, ready to prove humanity's strength. The Leviathan asterisk asterisk a game changer, hidden until now, symbolizing humanity's defiance. Hook for next section asterisk the Leviathan S jump into battle. How will the aliens react? Let me know if you like any refinements. The Leviathan tore through the fabric of real space with a thunderclap of distorted gravity, its arrival sending shockwaves rippling through the void. One moment, the battlefield near Sigma Draconis was a maelstrom of Cthari plasma lances and Velnion barges. The next, a human warship, sleek and monstrous, materialized between them like a blade unsheathed. Captain Isara Ray felt the transition in her bones, the familiar gut punch of a jump settling into her muscles. The bridge hummed around her, a symphony of low-power alerts and the steady breathing of her crew. On the main display, the alien fleets, hundreds of ships, their hulls scarred from weeks of relentless combat, froze mid-maneuver. Direct hit on their sensors, tactical officer Wren murmured, fingers dancing across his console. They're blind for the next 12 seconds. Isara didn't smile. 12 seconds was an eternity in war. Open a channel. All frequencies. A click. Then her voice, cold and clear, echoed across the battlefield. This is Captain Isara Ray of the United Nations ship Leviathan. You are in violation of human-protected space. Stand down. Silence. Then chaos. The Cthari reacted first. Their dreadnoughts, hulking behemoths studded with weapon ports, swung toward the Leviathan with predatory grace. A single pulse of encrypted comms flashed between them, orders, or perhaps just disbelief, before their forward batteries flared to life. Plasma bolts streaked across the black, a storm of fire meant to reduce the human ship to slag. They never reached their target. The Leviathan's adaptive shielding flared blue as it absorbed the barrage, dispersing the energy like water parting around stone. Isara didn't flinch. Locked primary railguns on the lead dreadnought. A chorus of confirmations. Then, fire. The Leviathan shuddered as its railguns discharged, tungsten rounds screaming across the void at a fraction of light speed. The Cthari dreadnought's shields buckled instantly. The rounds punched through its hull, detonating deep within its reactor core. The explosion lit up the battlefield like a newborn star. For a heartbeat, there was only the aftermath, the dying light of the dreadnought, the stunned silence of the survivors. Then the Velm fleet, ever opportunistic, seized their chance. Their sleek, dagger-like ships surged forward, ion cannons lashing out at the now disoriented Cthari. Isara watched, calculating. They think we're on their side. Exo Kale Jansen snorted. Should we correct them? Not yet. She leaned forward, eyes locked on the tactical display. Let them wear each other down a little more. Aboard the Cthari command ship, Overlord Thak roared in fury, his four-clawed hands slamming down on the holographic display. What is that thing? His subordinates flinched. Sensor Chief Vriss hissed through needle teeth. Unknown design, Overlord. Their shields absorbed our full barrage. No damage detected. Thak's crest flared crimson. Humans were prey. Weak. Disorganized. This was impossible. Focus all firepower on it, he snarled. Now! But before the order could be relayed, the Leviathan moved again. Isara saw the Cthari regrouping, their remaining dreadnoughts forming a kill box around her ship. Predictable. She tapped a command into her armrest. Activate Leviathan Protocol. A new alert blared across the bridge, a deep, resonant thrum as the Leviathan's dorsal plating split open. From within, a swarm of drones erupted, each no larger than a fighter, but humming with lethal intent. They streaked toward the Cthari fleet, weaving through defensive fire with eerie precision. AI is synced, Wren reported. They're learning evasion patterns in real time. The drones struck like a plague. They latched onto Cthari hulls, drilling through armor with plasma cutters before detonating in synchronized bursts. Ship after ship flared and died, their wreckage scattering like embers. The Veln, sensing the tide turning, redoubled their assault, until Leviathan pivoted toward them. Isara's voice cut through the comms again. I said, "Stand down." This time, the Veln hesitated. Their flagship, a sleek obsidian blade of a vessel, hung motionless for a breath, then inexplicably powered down its weapons. A message flickered across the Leviathan comms. "Human vessel. You are not our enemy. Asterisk, asterisk." Isara arched a brow. "Interesting." Kale frowned. "They're surrendering? Or buying time?" She straightened. "Either way, we've got their attention." On the view screen, the Kthari remnants were in full retreat, their shattered fleet limping toward the system's edge. The Veln held position, watching, waiting. The Leviathan stood between them, untouched, unbroken. Isara allowed herself a small, grim smile. Phase 1 was complete. Now came the hard part. End of Section 2. Word count 1-500. Key developments asterisk. First strike asterisk to Leviathan as devastating debut shocks both alien fleets, proving humanity's strength. Kthari reaction asterisk. Overlord Thakes rage and disbelief underscore the cultural shift. Humans are no longer prey. Veln Gambit asterisk. Their sudden ceasefire hints at hidden motives, setting up future intrigue. Hook for next section asterisk. Why did the Veln stand down? Isara's hard part implies diplomacy or betrayal. Let me know if you like any adjustments. The Veln flagship hung in the void like a silent predator, its obsidian hull reflecting the distant glow of dying Kthari warships. Captain Isara Ray studied it from the Leviathan S bridge, her fingers drumming a slow rhythm against the armrest of her command chair. The Veln had stopped firing, but that didn't mean they were friendly. "Comms," she said, never taking her eyes off the screen. "Patch me through to their command channel." A soft chime signaled a connection. The view screen flickered, resolving into the image of a Veln High Commander, tall, sinewy, with iridescent scales that shimmered like oil on water. Its slit-pupiled eyes locked onto Isara with unnerving focus. "Human." The translator rendered its voice as a dry rasp. "You fight the Kthari. This is unexpected." Isara kept her expression neutral. "We defend our borders. Nothing more." The Veln's tongue flicked out, tasting the air between them metaphorically. "Yet you did not fire on us." A curious choice. Behind her, Exo Kale shifted subtly, his hand hovering near the tactical console. Isara ignored him. "You powered down first. I'm returning the courtesy." A pause. Then the Veln commander tilted its head, a gesture that might have been amusement. "Or you lack the resources to engage us both." A gamble. A test. Isara leaned forward, letting the silence stretch just long enough to be uncomfortable. "Try me." The Veln's crest flared slightly. Surprise? Respect? Before it smoothed its features. There may be mutual advantage in discourse. Isara exhaled inwardly. "Got you. Then let's talk." The screen went dark. Dr. Markov's voice crackled over the comm from engineering. "You're not seriously considering negotiating with them?" Isara muted the line with a jab of her thumb. "Tactical. Full scan of that flagship. I want to know if they're priming weapons under our noses." Ren's hands flew across his console, reading minimal energy spikes. Their shields are at standby, but their hangar bays are active. Could be fighters. Kale frowned. Or an envoy. Or a bomb. Isara pushed her feet. "Prep a shuttle. Minimal escort. 2 drones stealth mode. I'll meet them halfway." Kale's jaw tightened. "Captain, you can't." "I'm not asking." She grabbed her sidearm, checking the charge. "If this is a trap, I'd rather sprint on my terms." The bridge crew exchanged glances but obeyed. As Isara strode toward the hangar, her mind raced. The Veln weren't the Kthari. They were colder, subtler. If they saw humanity as a tool rather than a threat, that could be exploited, or it could get her killed. The shuttle's interior was cramped, the air thick with the tang of ozone. Isara sat rigidly across from the Veln envoy, a lesser diplomat. If its subdued crest markings were any indication, its escort, a hulking warrior with serrated claws. Hadn't stopped staring at her since boarding. "Your vessel is impressive," the envoy said, its voice carefully modulated. "For a young species." Isara smirked. "We learn fast. Yet you hide it until now. Why?" "Same reason you keep your best blade sheathed." She held its gaze. Surprise as value. The envoy's nostrils flared. "The Kthari will not forget this insult. They will return. Let them." She leaned back. "But you're not here to discuss the Kthari. You're here because you want to know what else we're hiding." A beat. Then the envoy hissed, laughter or fury. She couldn't tell. Direct. "We approve." It steepled its clawed fingers. "An alliance, perhaps? The Kthari are a shared inconvenience." Isara's pulse jumped. "There is. What's the price?" "Your shielding technology." She laughed outright. "Not happening." The warrior's claws flexed. The envoy didn't blink. "Then what will you trade?" Isara let the question hang, watching the envoy's pupils dilate with barely concealed hunger. The Veln weren't used to being denied. "Good. Intel," she said at last. "The Kthari's next target. Their fleet movements. In return, we don't turn the Leviathan on you next." The shuttle shuddered. A proximity alert. Wren's voice hissed in her earpiece. "Captain, we've got Kthari signatures at the edge of the system. Reinforcements." The envoy's tongue flicked out. It knew. Isara stood, hand resting on her sidearm. "Looks like you've got a choice to make. Fast." End of section 3. Word count 1-500. Key developments asterisk. Veln's game asterisk their offer of alliance reveals their true motive, exploiting human tech. But Isara flips the script. Kthari return asterisk the arrival of reinforcements forces an immediate decision, raising stakes. Isara's Gambit asterisk. She negotiates from strength, hinting at humanity's broader capabilities. Hook for next section asterisk. Will the Veln side with humanity, or betray them the moment the Kthari attack? The proximity alert wailed like a wounded animal as the Kthari reinforcements emerged from the jump point, their warships bristling with fresh plasma batteries. Isara rated need the tactical display to know what was coming. The Veln envoy's twitching crest told her everything. "Captain." Wren's voice crackled in her earpiece. 6 Dreadnought-class signatures. They're powering weapons. The Veln warrior's claws scraped against the shuttle's deck plating. The envoy remained still, its obsidian eyes reflecting the emergency lights. "Your bluff is called human." Isara kept her hand on her sidearm, her pulse steady. "Not a bluff." She tapped her comm activate protocol halo. A pause. Then, acknowledged. The shuttle's viewport filled with light as the Leviathan S main array powered up, its emitter nodes glowing like captured stars. The Veln envoy recoiled as the energy signature spiked across their scanners. "That's not." "Shielding." Isara bared her teeth. "No." The Leviathan fired. A beam of coherent energy lanced across the void, slicing to the lead Kthari dreadnought like a scalpel through flesh. The ship split apart in a silent explosion, its half spinning away in a grotesque ballet. The remaining Kthari ships scrambled, their formations dissolving into chaos. The Veln warrior lunged. Isara's sidearm was already drawn. The stun round hit the warrior square in the chest, sending it crashing into the bulkhead. She swung the barrel toward the envoy. "Your move." The envoy's crest lay flat against its skull. Submission. "What do you want?" "Same thing you do." She holstered the weapon. "The Kthari gone. But I don't need your ships to do it." She leaned in. "I need your intel on their homeworld." The envoy went very still. "That is ambitious. Call insurance." She jerked her chin at the viewport, where the Leviathan was carving through the Kthari vanguard. "You've seen what we can do. Imagine what happens if they send more of us." Aboard the Leviathan S bridge, Kale watched the tactical display with grim satisfaction. The Kthari were breaking formation, their vaunted discipline shattered. "Veln fleet is holding position," Wren reported. "No hostile maneuvers." Kale exhaled. Guess the captain convinced them. A new alert blared, an incoming transmission from the Veln flagship. The screen resolved to show the High Commander, its earlier arrogance replaced by wary calculation. Your terms are accepted, it hissed. The Kthari homeworld coordinates will be transmitted. In return, asterisk. In return, Isara's voice cut in as she strode back onto the bridge. You stay out of human space. Permanently. The High Commander's tongue flicked out. And if we refuse? Isara smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. Then we'll see how your shields hold up against that. She nodded to the view screen, where the last Kthari dreadnought drifted powerless, its hull scorched open to the void. The transmission cut abruptly. 3 hours later, the battlefield was quiet. Isara stood in the Leviathan S observation deck, staring at the wreckage. The Kthari remnants had fled. The Veln had withdrawn without another word. Kale joined her, handing her a steaming mug. Earth Command is enthusiastic. They're already talking about a second Leviathan class. She took the mug, letting the heat seep into her fingers. Of course they are. You don't sound happy. She glanced at him. We just rewrote the balance of power in this sector. You think the Veln will take that line down? Or the Kthari? Kale followed her gaze to the stars. So what now? Now, the real work began. Now, every alien faction in the Orion Spur will be scrambling to counter humanity's rise. Now, the Leviathan wouldn't be a surprise anymore. Isara took a long sip. Now, she said softly, we get ready. Somewhere in the dark, something watched and learned. End of section 4. Word count, 1-500. Key resolutions in hooks asterisk. Decisive victory asterisk. The Leviathan S full capabilities crushed the Kthari, forcing Veln compliance. Cold peace asterisk. The uneasy bargain with the Veln sets up future tensions. Humanity's rise asterisk. Earth's leadership immediately pushes for expansion, ignoring the coming backlash. The Watcher asterisk. Final lines hint at a new, unseen threat observing humanity's ascent. Final note asterisk. The story closes this chapter while laying groundwork for larger conflicts, perfect for a sequel or extended universe. Let me know if you like adjustments to the ending's tone or pacing.